Hello everyone, welcome to FOC class 12. This video is part 13 of Fundamentals of Java Programming for class 12 IT Code 802. So in today's class we are going to discuss the two topics class design and constructors introduction. So let's start. First of all, let us proceed to our first topic, which is class design. So as you can remember, in our previous video, we had taken an example of a book to understand about object-oriented programming, the concept of class, data members, and method members. So using that same example, now we are going to create the class book and we are going to use some of the method members and data members that we discussed in our previous video. If you have not seen it, then please see it, because if you watch this video without watching that video, you will not understand the concept clearly. So please first of all watch that video and then come back to this video. So this is the coding that we are going to use for creating the class book in Java. If question comes like how to create class book in Java, write coding for it. So you can write the coding in this way. You have to just write this part that we have written in the coding. So let us discuss this coding in detail so that each and every part of this coding is very much clear to you. First of all, in our coding, we are having the package statement. In this statement, first of all, we are going to use the package keyword, which will indicate that we are providing the name of the package. After it, the name of the package is to be written. After this package statement, we are having the public class statement where we use the keyword and we also specify the name of the class. Now, why is it so? Basically, whenever we want to create a class in Java, then we have to use a keyword which will indicate that a class is going to be created. So for this purpose, we have to begin the class in Java with the keyword class, followed by the name of the class. So you can see here we have used the keyword class and after it we have written the name of the class, which is book. So basically this is indicating that we are going to create a class in Java and the name of this class is book. Now, the body of the class is enclosed within curly braces. Here you can see that within the curly braces, some of the coding part is enclosed. Basically, this part is body of the class that we have enclosed inside the curly braces. After writing the public class statement, we start the curly brace so that we can define or we can give the coding for the body of the class. The body contains the definitions of the data members and method members of the class. Basically, the body of the class in Java contains the definitions of data members. These are the data members and the body will contain the definitions of them, and this is the method member, and here is the definition of method members. The data members are defined by specifying their type. Now let us see how are these data members defined. Basically, we first of all write the data type of the data member and then we have to write the data member. For example, here first of all we have written the data type of title, which is string, because when we are going to write the title it will be a string. So that is why we have used this data type, and after it we have written the data member, which is title. In our previous video we have discussed that why are these the data members in this class. So these are the data members: title, author, publisher, genre, price. Here, the first four data members are having the string data type, and the last one, which is price, it is having the data type as double. Now, what is the definition of method members, or how do we define the method members? Basically, as we learned in our previous video about the user defined methods, in the similar way we have to define the method members also. So here, what was the method member in this example? It was display. So here is our method member, and here is the coding that we are going to use for it. We have used the system.out.println command, and after it we have written the statement which we require to print. Here, as you know that we use the data member in method member because these data members are useful when we define the method member. So we have already defined the data members in previous coding, and now here we are going to define the method member so that this program is executed successfully. Now, these are the data members, and this display is the method member. So, this method member will have access to all the data members of the class and can use them in their body. Means, this method member display can use all these data members in its body, and you can see here in the body of the method member we have used all these data members that we have defined here. The data members of a class are like global variables. They can accessed by all the method members of the class. Means here by defining these data members, these are basically like the global variables. As we discussed in the very beginning while we were discussing the variables topic, that there are local variables and there are global variables. So these data members of class act like the global variables, means they can be accessed by all the method members of the class. There is no restriction that they will be accessed only by these method members. No, there is no such restriction. They can be accessed by all of them. So here we are having the method member display, and these data members are accessed by this method member display in its body. Now let us move to our next topic, which is constructors. Constructors is a completely new topic for you. So first of all, we will be relating this topic to the previous topics so that you can understand that why are we using the constructors here in Java. First of all, let us discuss about the data member. We will be starting the discussion with data member. A data member that is declared but not initialized before using is assigned a default value by the compiler, usually either 0 or null. This means that sometimes we only declare the data member but we do not initialize it. Means we give the data type of the data member but we do not give any initial value for it. That means we have declared but not initialized. So what happens in this case? The compiler assigns a default value to this data member. And what is this default value? Generally it is 0 or null. So this was the basic concept why we use constructor. How? So basically, when we are saying that the compiler is assigning a default value, so we basically mean that the compiler is assigning the value with the help of constructor method. This constructor method, or we can call it as constructor, it is used to initialize the data members of the class. Means when the user has only declared the data members but not given any initial value for them, in that case the initialization will be done by the compiler with the help of the constructor method. So this is the purpose why we are using the constructors here. Not only data members but any other initialization can be done. It is just that we have to do this at the time of object creation. Means when we have declared the data member, then only the initialization is to be done. If the user has not done it, then the constructor method will initialize the data member. It is good programming practice to always initialize variables before using them. Means if you have not initialized the variable, then the constructor method will initialize it. So it will be good if you yourself initialize the variables before you are going to use them. Now, the constructor has the same name as the class. Means what will be the name of the class will be the same name of the constructor. And the constructor also has list of parameters, and this list is optional. Means the constructor may or may not have this list of parameters. Also, the constructor has no return type. Return type, as I told you, that it is the data type of the return value. So here, in case of constructor, which is a special method member, we do not have any return type. Now, whenever a new object of a class is created, the constructor of the class is invoked automatically. As I just told that whenever we are going to declare a data member, then the initialization will be done by the compiler with the help of the constructor. So, how does this constructor is invoked or it is called? How is it done? Basically, this is invoked automatically. It is called automatically. We do not need to call it explicitly. Means the user does not need to write any coding for calling that constructor method member. It will be called automatically whenever we are going to create a new object of a class. Thank you. That was all for today. I hope this video was helpful for you. Some parts of Java are still remaining and we are trying to cover them very soon. So meet you soon in the next video. Till then, bye bye.